Hello everybody, and welcome back to some more Minecraft. We are currently working on fixing up the wood farm to be a much more efficient, well, it needs to have a much more efficient system built into it, basically, is the simple and nice way to put it. I've been bad with this area's storage system for a while. And we've known this. We've talked about it. We talked about it a lot last episode. In fact, the entire episode was basically dedicated to how bad I think the Great Bridge Project is at achieving its goals, basically. And now, here we are, working on what I believe will be its replacement, at least in terms of keeping a majority of the infrastructure the same while fixing the parts that are struggling, basically. And this is where it all begins, really, is the collection system that we have from RaiseWorks, which is a very temporary and simple collection system that, while good, isn't good enough, in my opinion. Especially when we generate thousands of items in a few hours, basically. Like, we need a way to quickly dump that off, and we also need a way to controllably, determine, hey, this stuff needs to be composted or whatnot, like all of this needs to be this, and, additionally alongside that, like, we need to have a good system to send it into the Great Bridge Project, which currently we don't. And I'm removing what system we have in here right now because I think the system we have is terrible, and in all honesty, I'm just getting started by basically setting us up with the starts of what I would like to do. So we're at what will be the new collection level for all of the items incoming, which is crazy that we dropped from there to here in such a span of time. I have to keep that one there, at least until I am ready to remove the bone meal coming in to the farm through that system. But it's the thing that we have to deal with. So effectively, right here, we're starting on working on the alignment system. So our starting double chests are all going to come in right through here, and a little bit into right in where our staircase is, which is fine. That's perfectly fine. We will build up a wall system that basically segments them, and we will build the corner to work this out, basically. But we need to start just tearing out the space that we need. Under what I have done the research for, we have a need for basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of 6 items that need to be actively composted as they overflow, and apples, which is our 7th, and I'm glad that there was a lucky apple there. So these 7 items are our main composting goods that we know of that are in the system. However, that's a lie. Remember what we're built on. We've got a melon and pumpkin farm right there. Okay, so that means that with our melon and pumpkin farm, that's 2 more items that need to get composted. Melon slices and our pumpkins as they overflow. Okay, cool. You hear the skeletons though. We need to also include a little crafter overflow system for these bones. Okay, that's a really simple list of what needs handled as part of this. I'm perfectly happy with sorting all of these pieces, and we can work on sorting these as an additional segment of it whenever we're ready to. I'm going to actually just put my foot down on it and just say I don't need to collect everything immediately. We can inevitably collect everything, but, you know, I need to just put my foot down and say, hey, this is what we need to collect from the farm right now. This is what we need to collect because this is what we have collecting from the farm right now. I do not need to collect however many thousands of arrows that I currently have. I do not need to collect all of the different armor pieces off of these guys that I have right now. I don't need to worry about all of this nonsense that we've got going on here, which is effectively pseudo EXP farm in the form of all of this and so much trash and random junk from just me working that, like, genuinely I'm kind of surprised that there's so much junk in here. Also, Jesus Christ, how did those acacia saplings get in there? How is all of this in here? Why is all of this in here? There's just so much random stuff in here that shouldn't be in here. Dear God, why? So, we need to collect all of that stuff eventually. And then the other thing that we need to collect is, of course, the woods. So, we go through, we inevitably build up a collection of the woods as we go through with this, because these are the trees that this farm, you know, can farm, and then, you know, we put those in here as their own collection line. We don't build an overflow thing for those because we want all of the wood blocks that we build. We could go through and effectively turn this into a micro version of a factory spot, but that's something that is not really wanted here. We want that over at the main base, but yeah, we don't want to factory these into, say, you know, birch planks, birch slabs, all that fun jazz. As good as it would be to maybe do that. Not here. Not here. We can build our overflow line over once we're at the actual farm. So, that's what we're going to start working on, is this entire mess, including all of this stuff back here and its entire messiness of everything. And we're just going to start by digging out the hole, cleaning up the spots that we need to know about, basically. So, this is our buffer system. We go down 10 blocks. I need to dig out, I really would like to dig out to where I know we're going to be, which looks like 1, 2, 3 blocks over. And then I would like to just dig this down. I missed. I missed. I can already tell that. So, we're going to need all of that over here. From this point onwards is where we're really in need of the space that we are digging, basically. So, this is the real, like, hey, we're going for it now. Because we've got the buffer in. We've had the buffer in for a while. This is now where we start our sort into all of this chaos. And I will admit, I do blame me from college for just being lazy here, because I'll admit that is kind of what happened is college me got lazy about dealing with all of this stuff, and then just kind of said, I don't want to deal with this right now. Summer me, you can deal with this. Except summer me is a tired me, and I am summer me. I'm tired of dealing with my crap. That's what I'm saying. Okay, screw all of that. We're just gonna mine all of you out. Cool. I want to mine out the shape that we're going to be working with, at least while we're here. So that is 6-1 right there. So that is 5-1, 4-1, 3, 1, 2, 1, and 1, 1 right there. So we build this, and then we dig it out in 7-piece blocks, basically. Now, why 7, you might be asking? Well, that is how far water flows. And we're running based off of water flows as our major standing block for how we're going to dispense the items effectively. And look, here we are, already outside, like I knew it was going to happen, because I knew it was coming. So, we dig out, we dig out all of this over to here. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then on the 8th block, we're just going to leave a nice little marker for us. And that is just to innately say, like, hey, all of this stuff we do not care about. We do care about it in terms of, like, you know, I would like this stuff mined out. But we don't need to worry about it in terms of, like, please innately dig this out, you know, right now. This is our calm little marker to say, you're good, don't do more. Which, as some of you may realize, is going to dig through a lot of old construction here. We're going to be deleting a lot of stuff today. And I know that, and it's something that I have to deal with, and it's something that I'm just going to maneuver around. We will mess with this area that I have spent so long designing, constructing, and whatnot, and we'll make it fit. I will make it fit. I'm in the boat of I want to preserve as much as I can, meaning the platform will probably stay. The walk-up will probably stay, especially because I don't need to build, like, from that line right there over, almost all of that doesn't need mined out. Like, most of it does not need mined out, basically. So we can keep a lot of this as is, based off of our schematics. So, yeah, right here, we do not need to mine out anything over here for almost 4 blocks down. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the first block, this is the first block that needs mined out technically from there. And then it goes in a little staircase pattern down from there, where the rest of the stuff goes. So really, ironically, we've dodged, like, a lot of this. Actually, we almost dodged, like, all of it if it weren't for the fact that this water stream system that we've got here, it's got to go. It can stay in terms of the fact, like, we will use where it connects in. I'm very happy to keep that part of it. The part that I'm not happy to keep is this mess right here. That's not a lot of headroom, you know. I would like some headroom here. So that's what I'm talking about that we're going to keep about this. This is kind of where things need to just step in and get, you know, determined and throw some stuff in there. Also, God, my ender chest is an absolute mess. And I know it. But that's fine. The main thing about it is that we are making progress. And I'm just going to throw all of that stuff up there, all of that stuff over there, all of this stuff over here. Whoop-de-doo, 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 whoop-de-doo. And if I really want to be over the top about this and just say, look, you're fine to get going, almost all of that can just go. So we'll do that real quick and just send all of that over. Because, yeah, no. That's the important part going right there. So, we've got this at least working now. We do not need to innately dig anything out over there. But we do need to dig all of this down at least to 2 blocks below that, basically. So, yep. Let's get doing it. Which, oh my gosh, I actually had almost the innate thought process to do it on accident. Just dig all of this out and into this beneath. It feels nice to do this, actually. It feels cathartic, knowing full well that I'm digging something out that is going to innately also make this look much more interesting, I think, architecturally. Because we're now going to have this whole little, like, overlook here that is going to be partially, like, inset into the ground near where the water is, you know? Like, we're doing this huge construction into the waters that are outside here, and it's gonna be really neat, actually, with, you know, what we're doing from this. So, you know, I'm personally happy about it. I think it's cool. I think we're going to, you know, make something neat out of it, and therefore I'm happy with that. The other thing is if I'm adding any farms to here, like the moss farm, this also allows for easy addition to what we're doing over here, basically. Where I can legitimately go through and, like, add in the silo for the moss and stuff, and then, you know, eventually the overflow moss is going to, you know, make its way over to, say, the tree farm and stuff like that. So we will be building a moss farm here. I've decided it is part of our list of things to do is build that moss farm. So yeah, whoop-de-doo. And eventually at some point I am going to need to go back and grab a bit of materials for us to build some stuff out of. Today is kind of more of just me wanting to get the hole dug and basically be rude to myself and block some things off and just tell myself no more. I'm not letting this happen anymore. Not while it is this way, you know. I do love the little noise machine that is our melon and pumpkin farm, but it needs fixed in the way that it's done. This is so messy that it's not even funny. We're literally going to shut off... We're going to shut off the collection of a lot of the stuff over there just so that bone meal isn't getting made right now. And you know what? While we're here, let's go do that real quick. Just shut this whole system off. Do I have plenty of space. Just shut that whole system off. I'm fine with letting a few more run in, but we're totally just cleaning this system out, basically, soon. Yippee. I'm so happy to be done with that. That system just... It's a system that never even really worked in full, in all honesty. Like, it was great. I'm glad that it existed, because it did do good in a sense. It just wasn't good enough. To put it bluntly, it wasn't good enough. So, that's what we're going to fix right now, is we're going to make this better. By just getting rid of it. And that's an innate thing that I just have to deal with right now. Alright, so all of this floor we need to hollow out under as well. And right yeah, we need to follow this little shape that we're giving ourselves where we're digging out under things. This goes here, or the input line is here. The extended first double chest is here. The second double chest goes there. So all of that needs to go. And then the rest of this needs to go out over roughly. So that's our extended double chest. We need to extend this out 6 more blocks beyond that. So all of this goes. So here plus 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. And whoop-de-doo. So above us is our walking floor, basically. We're going to want this stuff all dug out, so I'm perfectly happy to delete it as we go. But yes, above me is the walking floor. Right here is where we're going to be walking. And then right here is the extended double chest line. So this is where, you know, things go. And I am going to have to extend that staircase back to make this, you know, connection work a little bit better, but that's fine. That's something I can do. That's something I can handle. We deal with it as we go. And then what I need to do is under this extended line, everything from here over needs to go down. Let's see here. So that is floor. Floor line. So this goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I believe. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. So floor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we again go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dig it up. Should be even. And then we dig this over. And I kind of just guesstimated on that one. But we can also dig up real quick and get us where we need to go. And dig us down. And perfect, actually. Wow. I am innately in tune with my redstone building that I have schematiced and designed for me because I just spent the time and worked. It's all that really needed to happen. Is not be lazy and to actually design. Alright. Now we dig this all out. All of this area right here is gonna be filled with redstone, by the way. This is also where we walk, and you know what the overhang is gonna be looking down onto effectively. Whenever it looks into here, it will be looking into what we're doing down over, you know, the walking line basically. And then we will be able to use this as our dispenser system to connect this into where the bridge project is going to be. The other thing is like I said, as we do this, I do think we need to genuinely go through and disconnect a few of the current systems. One of them is going to be the system that is attached to how we do our pumpkins and melons, like I said. They need to come into this system, not the old system that we have. And that's just a relatively easy fix. Just needs a singular hopper line, but you know, it's something we need to do. Alright, so, for the time being, we are going to build us a nice little simple staircase out, and a nice little simple staircase out. And I'm gonna put the floor in, relatively, there, just because, you know. And then let's also get this mined out. So this is double chest. We go 6 over, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that is at least the innate area that we need minimum for what we're doing with everything. Like, all this is technically runnable as is right now. With everything we've got here, we could technically build the system. I would despise myself for it, but this is the space that we need for our new system. Alright, let's back this up a block because, like I said, I realized we're building a bit short of what we actually need, so that this stuff ends relatively with a nice, you know, stopping point that gives me a little wall right here to kind of turn around and go over to here with everything. And then let's also start working on the other items. I didn't go through and figure out how much moss items there were that we're going to be building with. So I'm just going to add a whole nother line of 7 over to here because anyways, we need to get a spot for the bones, the melons, and the pumpkins before I disconnect them. Anyways, so we need to do it now rather than later. And that means dealing with this mess, so to speak. God, that's a lot of water. I wish I had sponges, but, you know. Oh well. Don't have them. Don't got any. No sponge. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 7 and 8. Whoop-de-doo. And we go down. We go down. Don't drown. And we go down. I think I'm actually 1 block shy. Let me just check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. Well, alrighty then. Whoop-de-doo. We can go in, and I can casually build up this wall, which is only temporary. Like, this is a very temporary... I do intend to get rid of this later wall that we are building right now. Awesome. Okay, cool. Now we just go through and fill her up to clean out as much water as we can. This is very, very annoying, to say the least. And do. I really would love sponges right now, but we don't have that luxury, and I won't have that luxury for a long while. So, yeah, no, not happening anytime soon at all. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. And whoop-de-do. And whoop-de-do. Dig us out. A nice, good little spot. But no, like, you can already start to see what this is going to bring. Like, this is going to be a cool overlook, and I do get to keep almost the entire thing. Like, the one real thing we're ripping out is that tube right there. That tube is a bad tube. That tube don't work. That tube don't do what we want it to do, basically. In our way, I mean, it does what we want it to do, just bad, basically. And I'm very happy to use some sand here and there to do this, because, yeah. And I mean, I have a bunch of sand in my inventory. It's almost like, well, I brought it for sticky pistons, he says with heavy quotation marks, you know. Sticky pistons aren't the only use of sand, to put it simply. Whoop-de-doo, and there we go. Let's grab all this dirt. Again, everything I do here right now is currently under the temporary, I do not like it being this way banner. Just doing what I have to, really. Alright, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or this is, yeah, it's a 7. So we go here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we end up down where the water is. Yep. Yep. This is the nice pain that we have to deal with. Luckily, in good news, though, a lot of this is just build a floor over it. Do not care. Like all that, we do not care. I can build a floor over it. And doop, 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 doop. Perfect. And nope. Didn't ask, don't want. Okay, there's our wall. And there's the sand that begins to fall. And we just break it all out. This gives us where we're going. This gives us where we want to go. And we keep a digging. I'm glad to finally have this working in our favor. Hopefully. Hopefully things will go in our favor now. Because I will admit, I've been getting really annoyed that we just keep struggling on, like, every little thing, basically, because of the simple statement that, like, oh, you know, frickin' the Great Bridge Project just will never export its items fast enough for me. Well, too bad. I'm giving an exporter literally for every item in here. And that way, at least this part will be really quick. And we'll do what needs to happen for the outpost now. And then at the outpost, we can deal with it being just a teeny bit slower because it'll, you know, actually take everything in. And then we've already gone and built up the system, or I went and built up the system, to basically receive the items much, much, much better and cleaner than what we're used to. So, yeah, no, everything's already kind of coming together. We just have to sit and do it, and I just have to stay determined, basically. So, as we can see, good news is I don't have to dig out, like, hardly any of the old roof system, at least over this, as we're digging. I can go full three-piece jamboree right here, of height and do as I would like to. I can even take out the upper layer, and in all honesty, it gives us the ceiling we want here. So yeah, we're doing that, obviously. There's a bit of expansion that needs to occur, but you know, that's fine. That is perfectly fine. I will happily expand that by a singular block. So this goes to here. We want this to go another... we want this to go over, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. And then this is the height we would love everything to be at in this area. Is just break all of this and have zero cares or worries about any of this. Just use the system that I've already built up, basically, as our height. And that will be good enough. Yippee. Break all of this down and over we shall go. And then we get to work on this in the next episode, where I will have gathered our materials to start the building, at least, beyond, you know, just digging it out, because that's kind of what it's looking like we're doing today, is just digging it out, which, that's perfectly fine. It's okay to have days where we just are digging it out, basically, you know? Like this is a fine day to have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Remind me. 1 iron. There we go. And now we go up there. We go over to here. And then how long is this? 7, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why is there water? Because this is just a tiny little subsect that needs water handled. That's my sword. And boom, perfect. And not perfect. I don't know why I am bouncing like that. Okay, there we go. Now we just dig us over. Why are you like this? Okay. Yep. We want out all of that dug out. So this is fine, but we want all of this to go. And yippee. Finally, I actually feel at least a little bit proud about this and not feeling like, it's messy, but it works. It's good, but it works, you know. Like, I've hated that I've just let myself live with that for so long. Just letting things be messy, while, you know, is interesting in terms of, like, a look. It's not good in terms of efficiency. It's not good in terms of what we're after, you know. So, like, just doing this, just spending the time to do this is already going to make this much more massive and much nicer looking, I guess. But yeah, no. Definitely in between episodes, I am going to make sure that I set up an overflow system, or look into Moss Farm's requirements, in terms of, like, what they're going to need for our, you know, like, our crafting of bone meal. Wait a minute. Everything that goes into the Moss Farm is just going to be bone meal. Yeah, all the overflow from the Moss Farm is just going to be bone meal. So, really what I'm doing here is I'm preparing for the wood. Which, you know, we need it anyways. So, you know, fair enough. Fair enough. I unintentionally, just started preparing the system that I knew I was going to need, but didn't realize I was going to need, you know? In the weird terming of phrase that is occurring there, I'm doing something that I know I needed to do, but didn't know that I needed to do. Alright, so if this is bone, pumpkin, melon, then this is 4 of the woods, and we need a slice that is 2 more, basically. So 1, 2, and then we go through and we just gotta go do all that. I may have left a certain subsegment of this not done. That's fine. I do not mind. Ow. The fall that you go under if you do not have that prepared is a big one. Okay. And there we go. And this is the other side of that, where the rest of that system gets to go. The cobblestone is temporary, like I've mentioned a few times. We are only using it just as I need to separate off the water from the not water right now. Perfect. Ow. Hang on. I'm not too worried about how much damage we're taking, actually. Come on. Eat. Ironically, I can out-heal it, which is a whole funny can of worms that, you know. Whoop-de-doo. We'll go in, just so that I'm not bursting through all of my food like that. Alright, there we go. Perfect. Should at least start cleaning stuff up. Yep, there we go. And alrighty. It's one for the long haul. Alright, so we get ourselves over to here. We dig up. We're gonna want to see those two blocks relatively. And we just dig. But no, like I said, the main reason we're doing these sort of wall divisions is water, basically. And water streams are basically working on counts of 7. I think they work technically on counts of 8, but it looks nicer as a 7. Is my statement towards it. So we're building them as 7s. Because I say so. And that's it. We also need to remember I can keep every zone under here actually relatively flat. Like, this is built down to where we want it, other than the composter line, which is just a singular line, really. I do not need to be over the top about digging too much, lower in this spot. So much so that I can literally walk in here and kind of just do this and walk over to here and have this be where we actually just start doing the drop down stuff. And perfect. There we go. There we go. God, that really is just a whole bunch of water. Just all over in here. Whole bunch of it. Okay, that gets blockaded. That gets blockaded. Water problems. What do they cause? What do we deal with? It's a water problem. That's what we do. Is we handle water problems. Man, I sound like a plumber over here with what I'm saying, basically. Let's see here. All of this gets to go. What to do? I mean, I still haven't even handled this upper area yet of this. Like, I just am not going to, apparently. And perfect. And perfect. And alrighty, there we go. Oh, I forgot this one tiny little layer. There we go. And it is interesting that it does that, but we go in and I mean, look, in all honesty, these buffer chests are perfectly fine to receive. They aren't going anywhere, so guess what? They can do their job and just be buffers for all of the items that we're picking up right now. And the good thing is other than sand, we actually get all of these items in the collection naturally. Like, the collection does all of this stuff, or, yeah, it does collect all of this stuff for us. So, really, in all honesty, if I need to just take some item dumps and throw them into the collection, we do that. We do that easy. Bop, bop, bop. And there we go. Bop, bop, bop. We take a step up. And do. And do. Excuse me. So yeah, melons and pumpkins will go here because that gives them a little subdivide. We can go woods with the bones here, and then apples and saplings right there. And that way we're covering the entire basis of all of the items without them looking unorganized or weird. And then we just put all of that into a water stream, which goes towards where our current unloading system kind of goes to. And we just send it up the pipe that we have there, and it'll head to the outpost. And that is literally all it takes for all of this, is just, yep, that's all that's got to go into it. And the fix. Okay, so all of this should be done by now, I believe. All of it to the point of where I'm going to go in. I need my bucket, which my bucket is currently, I believe, in a in my ender chest, which is fine. Yoink. I feel like I'm missing a water bucket, but cool. Alright, this goes into here. This long snake used to be effectively how I got my items from the end of the system over there to effectively go all the way over to, you know, what we were using. It's a bad system. I'm glad to get it out of here, at least that way. I do need more water buckets, though. Like, we do need more water buckets, especially if I intend to remove the water pipe over here. That will at least make it so it's dealable. Go to you, that grabs you. We can... Well, I mean, as I go, I can kind of just grab, and that'll fix effectively. Grab this. We need to go up 2 relatively, and just place dirt blocks in. There we go. That should at least help us out for there. And now it's just build it in. There is so many different types of materials that I have used in this zone. Dear God. Alrighty. And whoop-de-doo. Grab all that. Because we need it. Just in a different spot. Alright, there we go. This whole system 1, 2, 3, 4 is now relatively fixed, golden, and ready. Take all of our birch slabs and redefine that ceiling just a teeny bit. There we go. Awesome. We will eventually go through here and restructure all of this. We will go through here and restructure all of that. But now, let's get at least the item lines set up. So that we can get the... Oh, wow. I just lost track of time. Wow. Never mind. That's looking like a next episode thing. Geez, wow. I look over and I'm like, we're 57 minutes into the episode. What the frick am I doing with my time? Just chatting, just yapping, just going. Just zooming and blooming and doing. That is what I do, apparently. Alright, we want all of this opened up. Let's, like I said, finish mining out the area that we need to mine. So that way, you know, I'm doing what needs done. And making future me proud. Because that's what I care about in this world. Is that future me is proud of myself. Okay. Alright, there we go. We can now run through all of this. You can do all the things you need to. You can grab whatever you need to, or this will basically be where all the items get shot out, and then we'll send them into a spot which we can eventually send into here as its own little water stream, and yeah. Yep. And what doesn't get collected through this system, we will just toss into a fire and inevitably add to this as a, you know, like, actual catcher. But yeah, no. Let's see here. Do I need anything else mined out? No, not at all. I can mine those 2 blocks now that I've kind of got my derivations set up. They aren't really needed. Wow, that is actually really hard to get to. And those blocks right there also need mined. I can get that one in a minute. Yeah, this is interesting, at least in the way it looks. I do want to get the oh my god, the overlook's gonna be awesome. Because we're going to get to see the direct, like, redstone behind all of it. Which is going to be really cool, actually. Because, yeah, this is, like, really one of the first big redstone things I've kind of designed and put together for myself. Almost, you know. Yeah, that's sick to see all of that. God, it is insane looking. So we will be doing some expansions, obviously, as we know. And ironically, you'll be able to reach into the double chest from up here, which is also kind of cool. We've removed this, at least in terms of functionality. We can work towards pulling things into it now. But again, that is something for a me of next episode to handle. We've done a lot with our session today. I'm very much proud of it, to say the least. I know this looks crappy right now, but that's also because there's just not anything in here yet. So yeah, we get to work on that on the next episode. You know what? Because I want to real quick, and it would be real nice if I could just get a spot set aside and start working on it. Pumpkins, you get to go. right here. Melons, you get to go right here. Bones, you get to go right here. There we go. And you know what? Yeah. We can set those there. They kind of float on empty space on their little shelves right now. But, right, did I place those in the right spot? Did I? I did not, because I forgot that they don't fully float. I grab. We place them like that, and then we place them one block in. That's the way you do it. There we go. There we go. I will quickly dump some of the items into there, just so we're not losing anything. And again, the other nice thing is I can also dump stuff like, you know, all the cobblestone in, all of the dirt in, and that stuff will just go get sorted whenever we head back to the collection and to the base. So, yeah, that has been an episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Very, very work heavy, not anything ultra, you know, cool, but we've got the plan. We're following the plan. And if I could just go in here, and we've got a whole bunch of stuff working for us, with all of this inevitably coming together as something that we will be working on over the next few episodes. So, yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for following along with my development of this world, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye. Woo! Bye.